Welcome to the Single on Purpose podcast, where we empower you to embrace your journey, live intentionally, and discover your purpose. I'm your host, Brittney Batson, and I'm also the author of the Single on Purpose book. And today we're diving into a topic that is real, and it's real challenging, honestly. Letting go of grudges. How many of us have had a difficult time forgiving someone or not holding a grudge? Everybody at some point in time, right? And let's be real, holding on to a grudge can actually feel really satisfying at first. It's like saying, you hurt me and I'm not letting you off the hook. But here's the catch about it, that a grudge or holding someone and not forgiving them, it's not really punishing them, right? In the end, who is it punishing? It's punishing us, right? We can't move on. We get angry over certain things. We're not ourselves. And we're really just holding ourselves in a moment and repeating it over and over again. And I've been there. And clinging on to hurt, actually, it's just replaying the wrongs over and over again and feeling stuck in a loop of anger and pain. And I've also seen how letting go, truly letting go, can create space for healing, growth, and peace. So today we're going to explore the why and how of forgiveness. And like I said, we've all been there. And this is actually something I still struggle with, right? And I would say it's an area that I want to continue to grow in more than anything. And it's because, holding a grudge has so many effects on you as a person. It increases your stress level, right? It makes you snappy. You're not really the same upbeat person anymore. And a lot of times, I will tell you, it just really puts a damper on your perspective and spirit every day in life because you're angry or you're upset or you're hurt. And all of those feelings are valid. And I want you to know that I have experienced all of them. And I actually think it's just different for every person. So some people are more sensitive than others. I would consider myself as a more sensitive person. So I have a more difficult time sometimes moving forward than others, and it takes me a little bit longer. But I know that when I don't move forward, when I don't forgive, when I don't decide to let people go, that I'm really not truly enjoying my life. I'm spending my time thinking about someone else way more than they're thinking about me. And I'm just living anger and hurt over and over and over again. And I think forgiveness is often misunderstood. And what I mean by that is that forgiveness isn't saying what someone did is okay. And it's not forgetting or excusing what someone did or the harm that someone has caused you. And it's definitely not about letting them hurt you again. That's not what forgiveness is. And I want you to think for a second, what do you think forgiveness is? Because sometimes we think forgiveness, love, all these things are something that they're really not. Forgiveness to me is really about freeing yourself. It's choosing to release the emotional hold the situation or the person has had over you. And it's saying, you know what? I'm done carrying this, because holding on to anger doesn't change the past. Holding on to you doesn't change my future. It only robs you of, it only robs you of your future. It doesn't change my past. It changes my future, right? Holding on to someone, holding on to what they did, it really does keep you replaying the same hurt. And here's the thing, forgiveness is a gift, and you have to give it to yourself, and I think here's a quick story that, honestly, I knew someone and I trusted them, of course, and trusted them to do what they said they were going to do. And unfortunately, they didn't. And that actually impacted my life. And that pain did not disappear overnight. And it actually was extremely difficult for me because I had to actually go back and fix what they did not do. So it actually ended up causing me more pain than I had ever imagined. And, let's talk about the grudge or the unforgiveness there. It took me so long to forgive them. And I had to first acknowledge the pain. I needed to write it down, whether it was writing it down, going to a therapist, or talking to a trusted friend and just releasing it verbally. I needed to be able to hear and express this hurt me because. And then I had to start to understand that we're all humans. And it's not about excusing people's actions, but it's about recognizing that people act out of their own pain. And people act out of their own situations and their own perspectives, right? And me deciding to forgive someone is going to have to be a choice. And sometimes it's going to have to be a daily choice in the beginning until I truly heal from whatever had happened and find closure. And sometimes finding closure isn't someone saying, I'm sorry. I will tell you, the person did not say sorry, actually, and that actually hurt me even more. But I had to come to this place where I had to refocus. I had to redirect my energy because I was tired of giving so much energy to this person that was not thinking about me. They were not thinking about me at all. And not only were they not thinking about me, I was hurting me. And I had to remember that forgiveness is one act at a time. It's a process. I needed to be patient with myself. I had to take small steps forward so that I could get to the point where it doesn't bother me anymore. I did release it. I don't focus on that person in that situation anymore. I can step into more purpose-filled decisions and live my life like I was before, because holding on to the grudge, it was costing me. It was costing me emotionally and mentally and physically. It was draining me. It was causing me so much stress in my life. And when I started to journal, when I started to actually, I started going to counseling and just sharing and speaking about it. I didn't really want to go to my friendships and pour and dump all this onto my friends because they weren't there in the beginning and they didn't understand, but also because I'm really protective of my friendships. And I think it's so important to make sure you don't put too much strain on them. And it's important to have a good balance. And I think having a counselor and someone to talk to about the areas of your life that are difficult for you to navigate through and to seek counsel, it's great. It's so healthy because then I'm not really boggling down my healthy relationships with other people's decisions. And that's just something I decided for myself that I want to continue and keep doing. I highly encourage you to do the same. But I just know that letting go and forgiving and learning tactics and skills really helped me because it helped me release the person. It helped me refocus. It helped me take my energy back. It helped me go back to happy Brittney and continue to walk in healing so that I can continue to grow and thrive in my singleness because I don't want to waste my time, my days focusing on looking at someone else's social media, looking at what someone else is doing, trying to figure out why they do this or trying to unpack or uncover and be a detective. I understand that is and can be a part of it moving forward, but I don't want to stay there. That's my biggest thing is that wherever I am, I don't want to stay if it's unhealthy. I want to be able to recognize and hear God's voice and lean into his voice and say, hey, it's time to move on. It's time to let go. And I honestly have had to say, I don't know how. This hurts me so bad. I don't know how. And that's when I knew I needed to start journaling. I needed to start articulating with my mouth what it is that's hurting me, why it hurt. And sometimes I think it's just about releasing it. And a lot of times when I say it, I feel so much better and I move on. And a lot of times I will go into journal mode and I'll just journal it. And I'll just write, this hurt me today, or I didn't agree with this, or I'm choosing to forgive this today. This is going to take some time, but this is step one. And I'll just journal the journey to forgiveness. And I'm not doing it for the person. I'm doing it for myself. In the end, we both will benefit, of course, because I truly believe when you forgive someone, it really empowers you, but also it humbles them to see, wow, like they forgave me. Because sometimes it takes people longer to realize that they hurt you, or it takes them longer to realize that they messed up or they were wrong. And you can't really wait on people to see eye to eye with you all the time. It's not realistic. But what you can do is you can pray for people. You can say, you know what, I hope you come. I'm going to pray for you. I hope you come to see how you've hurt me. Let's part ways. I think it's best now. And that's okay. Wish them the best. I had to learn that one of the biggest things about forgiveness was when you can pray for that person, when you can wish that person well and mean it, you are forgiving. You are forgiving. You are on your way to forgiving. And At first, honestly, I didn't mean it. I realized sometimes my heart and my mind are not together, but that doesn't mean I can't practice healthy habits. My heart sometimes has to follow because my heart is healing. My heart doesn't necessarily heal as fast as my brain can move forward. And so, as I'm praying for someone, I didn't always mean it. I will be honest, but eventually my heart started to soften and they started to connect. And I do mean it. I do wish the best for that person. I couldn't even say it in the beginning. I was so angry and upset at that person and just deeply hurt. You face anger, you face hurt, you face grief, sadness, all of those emotions, and it's okay to go through them. And I want you to know that you're human and it's normal to have emotions. My biggest thing is not staying in that place, staying in a place of anger and hurt and pain, but actually figuring out ways to move forward so that you can be all you are created to be and walk in your purpose. And your heart is so important to God. He's always after your heart. He understands the things that you go through. He's with you through it. I will say there's so many times that I've had to say, God, I don't know how to get through this. I don't know how to forgive this person. Help me. Help me forgive this person. This is so hard. And God has helped me. He's helped me learn how to forgive myself for certain situations and that I've put myself in or I've allowed because I was trying to be a good person, right? We all know about that. And he's helped me forgive others. And one big way is just remembering, always just remembering that you've been forgiven. You're forgiven every single day and it's free. No one's angry at you. No one holds it over your head. God does not bash it over you and say, you did this 10 years ago. He doesn't do that. The forgiveness we get every day is free. It's free. And I always want that to humble my heart. I don't want that to just be in a song. I don't want it to just be in a movie. I want that to always move my heart. Because when that moves my heart, it actually puts me back into the right perspective. And it helps me actually remember, wait, we're all human. We're all trying to figure it out. And although they were wrong, they shouldn't have done what they did, there have been times when I have been wrong and I shouldn't have done what I did or said what I said, or I could have acted better in a situation. None of us are perfect. The same forgiveness that I need sometimes, this person may need today from me or in a year from me. Forgiveness does not always come in a day. It does not always come in a year. But taking steps towards forgiving those hard moments and those people that have really hurt you are what's important. And the more you do it, the more opportunity you give yourself to walk free from the past, free from the hurt, free from the guilt, free from the unforgiveness, and walk in true freedom towards who you are, towards who God has called you to be. Now, let me tell you this. The person that I had a hard time forgiving, I had actually loaned some money and they did not pay me back. So I had to actually go work overtime because at that time I was not making a lot of money and with my occupation straight out of college. And it just put a major stress on me that I did not expect because I was trying to help and be a good person. And the promise that they had made, they did not keep. They did not say sorry. They did not come back and empathize with me at all. It was kind of, well, this is what happened to the money and it's gone. And it was so shocking to me that I actually realized how hurt I was because it took me so long to forgive them. And it took me so long because it was tied to me forgiving myself. I did not know how to forgive myself. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I realized, wait, it's not necessarily that you didn't forgive them. It's you didn't forgive yourself because you felt like, how could I be so stupid? How could I let this person do this to me? But I had to realize you're human. You had no idea that this was the decision this person was going to make. How would you know that? How would you know that? There's no way you knew that. Sometimes we can tell, like, okay, this probably isn't a good choice, and we decide to open our hearts and give it a try anyway. And sometimes we know better and we do it anyway. And either way, we have to choose to forgive ourselves for the decision that we made to take part in whatever it is. That was really hard for me. I was like, you knew that this could happen. You knew there was a chance, right? When you gave it away. And you did it anyway. and they were not able to fulfill their promise, and it did impact you greatly. It's okay. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. You are worthy. You are loved. You are smart. You are gifted. You are talented. You are a good person. You're trying like everybody is trying, and it's okay. Forgive yourself. And if you can't, receive the forgiveness that God has given you. God has already forgiven you. You have to forgive you. And when I was able to forgive myself and realize I'm not all of these negative names, I was able to walk into a stronger forgiveness for the person that did it. And I realized, wait, I don't think they meant to do what they did, and they may never say sorry. They probably will never say sorry, but I'm going to choose to forgive them so that I can continue to walk in freedom, so I can continue to be happy, so I can continue to not be triggered. And when I am triggered, I'm going to choose forgiveness again. I'm going to go back and do those simple things once again. I'm going to go and I'm going to maybe go to counseling and speak about it, maybe journal about it, maybe share it with a close friend for about 10 minutes. I literally will set a timer for 10 minutes, and then I'm done talking about it. I will not talk about it anymore, and then I will release it. I am going to go pray for that person, and I'm going to continue to tell myself, I forgive them. I forgive them, because forgiveness for some people is harder than others, and that's okay. But taking the steps to be able to do that is what will make the difference. And everybody has been hurt. Sometimes the hurt that we have experienced is heartbreaking, and it's going to take time. And it's okay. Give yourself the time you need. Instead of looking at their social media, or instead of sending text messages or calling or doing things out of your character, call yourself back and go, wait, that's not me. I don't want to do this. I am upset. I am angry. What can I do to emotionally release this and move forward? Something I love to do? I love to go to kickboxing, and I love to hit the bag. It helps. I love to work out. I love to run. It helps. It helps release whatever it is that I'm feeling. And when I'm done, I'm like a lot of physical activities can help as well. If you are not into journaling, or you're not into taking walks, run. Get in a kickboxing class or a Zumba class. Get into something a little bit more physical where you can release those emotions in a healthier way. The biggest thing that I'm telling you to do is not sit in the unforgiveness, not let it change who you are for too long, but actually take action. Take action over your life so that you are not an unforgiving person, that you're not holding everybody by the neck. Because at the end of the day, you have to imagine if everybody did that to you. You have to imagine if God did that for you, did that to you, off of everything that you messed up on, right? All the mistakes that you made, whether it was a white lie, a dishonesty, gossiping, overindulging, or whatever it is that you think is not right in your life. What if he did it every single time? I mean, we would literally walk around like that, right? So humbling ourselves to realize, wait, I'm forgiven all the time. Freely. This is going to be hard for me to forgive and to forget, but I can take healthy steps towards it so it doesn't impact who God created me to be. And I encourage you to do that. And I know you can, because you have been forgiven. Thank you for tuning in to Single on Purpose. Until the next episode.